Hey all, this is me Hack, and welcome to new video where I will be making port scanner in this video, and we will also try to grab banner of different ports. So yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I think it should be in a series which will be called Python for Red Teamers, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So let's just start with it. So for making a port scanner, so we need to just make a small note for us like what we need in a port scanner. So we need something to actually connect to different like ports, right? So we need something to connect with different ports. Then we also need to take IP. Our input should be should be able to, I should stop typing, and we also should be able to take inputs which could be the IP address or the host name, and the other part will be that it should connect to like every port which is 65,535. And then our last step will be it should be able to grab the banner. So we will focus on that too. So but before that, just let's just start with some basic thing here first. So the first thing which I would like to show will be this. Let me just grab a link. So like if you want to connect to a port, uh, in Python you use socket module. So let me just grab the link real quick. uh, give me a minute and it should be here. So we need Python socket module. You can probably go ahead and give a read to it if you want to learn about socket module. And yeah, for now we need socket only. So we can do something like this: import socket, socket, like this. Then the other part which we need to do will be we need to make a connection. So it will be we can give a name. It could be either s it will be like s connect and socket. Then it will be, if I can type properly, socket dot socket. Then we need to, like, you can copy this part out, right? I'm gonna copy it. Give me a minute, and it should socket dot afnet and sock stream. Then we need to make a actual connection. By the way, like if you don't know like what socket dot sock stream and ifnet is, let's just google it out real quick. We got the first so our first link is from real Python. Interesting. So let's see this. uh, you can read it if you want to, like if you want to understand this part more quick. But I will go back to my Python on this. I will go back to my code because I will assume some basic knowledge about Python for in this video. So then we will try to connect with it. So socket.connect. I have a different variable name. So the other part which I need to specify is the IP and the port. So I will be like I will be specifying my local host, which will be 127.0.0.1. So I can do something like this: 127.0.0.1. Then I can give a comma. Then I can do port like 1234, and this is it, right? I mean, this is not it. I mean, it's not the end of a port scanner over here. It's just a good start, you can say. So I will clear this thing out if I can type properly. So I will start my netcat listener over here. You can do the same. So basically what I'm trying to show is like um, this socket module is making a connection to this port, right? So I can do something like this. I can run this file python 3 yt.port. Okay, let's see. Socket object is not callable, huh? This is interesting. This is very interesting. Let's see why it's not callable. It should work, right? Socket. Oh, I made a small mistake. It will be, oops, this one was a big oopsie. So it will be socket, then socket AFNet, right? Oh wait, no, like this part is correct. This part is completely correct over here. Socket dot socket. Then what's the problem over here? Is not callable. This is very interesting. Let's just try to run this again. Socket object is not callable. Oops, another mistake. I need to connect it, right? Sorry, like people make mistakes, even I do. So now, like, I have my netcat listener. Let's see. Uh, Hopefully this time it should work. Okay, it did work. So basically, made a connection. So now in a port scanner, like we don't really need this. I mean, we kinda need it, but at the same time we don't really need this feature. So in port scanner we need something which can go to like different ports, like from 1 to 65,535 if my networking knowledge is correct. So we probably need to create a for loop over here. Then the other thing which we need to do is we need to take user input. So there are like two ways we can use to take user input. The first one will be using using the input function. Um, the other and probably the better way will be we can use arguments over here. So I can do like import. And why I'm using arguments, because if I have to improve or add something, that's what my understanding is. If I have to add something, it will be easy for me. Import then sys like this. Then I can probably create um, IP arg, like a variable name like this. Then I can do sys dot argv, and I can specify one over here. And if you are wondering like why I'm not saying 0, because in Python indexing starts from 0. So if you're wondering like why we have 0 over here, it's because in Python we start indexing from 0, right? So what will basically over here, like if we replace 1 with 0, it will take the file name as an input. So let's just play around with it. So I'm gonna comment this part for now. Oops, let me just close my browser, and I will like probably comment this part out real quick. Okay, so I need to print IP IP arg, like this, and it will print out the file name over here, right? So what if we give something like 127.0.0.1? It will not take it. What if we replace it with 1, and it will print our IP? So this is the reason why like we are taking 1 as an argument variable. So now the other thing which I need to do is it will be like to uncomment this part and change this part with the IP arg with the argument variable, which will be IP arg like this. And I need to go back to my terminal real quick. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I need to run it, and hopefully it should work. And it did. So now like what we learned till now is like we don't need to like manually or like hard code the IP. We can give it as an argument, right? And over here like it basically shows like, yeah, it did make a connection, which is cool, right? Now the other thing which we need is we don't really need to make a connection to one specific port. We need to make connection to many ports, right? 1 2 3 4 etc. So what I'm gonna do is I will comment this part out real quick. I will comment this out, and I will create a for loop over here. And in the for loop, like I will use like exceptions. So if you don't know about exceptions, you can probably go and Google about it. Let's see, Python try and except. Like you can probably check this document why we need it. I'm just using it because um, if we get some sort of an error, our program should run properly, shouldn't just crash or stop because of an error, right? So I will do I will make a for loop port for port for port in range in range like this. I can do 1 to 65,535. I hope my networking knowledge is good, and if I'm making a mistake, please bear with me. um, then the other thing which we need to specify will be that we need to make connection. So we need to say something like connect, I guess, or create connection. Let's see, let's just try with this um, socket dot create connection, or we can give a different name over here. So maybe we can do something like socket, or this the above one. let me just let me just comment this part too. So I can do s connect, the exact same thing but with minute changes. I can do something like this, s dot socket. Then I can do something like, hopefully, let's just hope that this part works, right? I don't want to make this thing again. Then I can do socket dot create connection. I can specify the IP or IP argument over here like this. Then port, which will be this. So this for loop will basically go from, it will like with this, these two lines will, what they will do is like they will connect to IP with on port 1, port 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, right? So port, and I also need to add one more bracket for timeout, which my timeout will be timeout equals to 1.5. Probably not the best, I don't know. It could be the best, I don't know. um, Now our goal will be to print the port which is available on the network, which I can do like print then f for w. And the other thing which I need to add will be something like port, then port. So it will print the port which is open, and I can say is open, like this, and hopefully it should work. And the other thing which I need to add will be that I need to close the socket dot close. And then I need to make an okay, so I made a terrible mistake. I was talking about try, because we need some exceptions over here. uh, all I can hope is my indentation is correct, because in Python indentation is something which screws you up. So socket dot error like this, and I can pass it. So basically if we encounter an error or some sort of an error, it will like just ignore it. That's what my little brain thinks about it. So I'm gonna run this, and boom. So we are making some progress over here, right? So we were able to scan our network. uh, we see like different ports which are open. Now the other thing will be like, since we are competing against nmap, right, we need to grab a banner. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I will try to grab banner. So for that, what I'm gonna do is like I will create another variable, something like this, like socket connect dot send, like this. And I can basically byte format, and I can copy this out real quick. And I'm pretty sure like this might not be the best way, but this was the easiest thing which I could come up in a really small time. um, then what I can do is I can create another variable with the name banner, and I can do something like s.connect dot receive, like this. And I can do like up to 124 characters is open, and at the same time we can print it out. And just wait, like you will see some error and some funky stuff over here. Okay, so this is kind of cool, like we are able to grab banner. But boy, like this looks terrible, extremely terrible. So so what I'm gonna do is like I will either try to decode it, right? And and like, yeah, let's just try to fix this thing. So the one way which I tried to come around was using decode, but you will see like why uh this might not be the best option. Let's just run it again and see, we got an error because there could be some characters which couldn't be decoded, I guess. So I'm gonna remove decode, uh sheesh, like this. I will create another function which will be, we can name like decoder. So I can create a function def decoder, and I can do data, oops, oops, I can create a try statement, then I can uh, return, and I can simply decode it using data.decode, like this. And I can specify UTF-8. And if it's not decodable, I can create an exception, right? And Unicode, something like Unicode decode error, like this. I can create an exception, and I can return the data should be in like original format, rep rep present data, like this. And what I'm gonna do is like at the place of like giving, okay, so like let me just explain this function real quick. So I've created a function called decoder, and it takes data as an input, and it tries to decode it using UTF-8 format. And if it gets an error, it creates an exception to show the data in that exact format. So, okay, that's cool, that's cool. What I'm gonna do is I will make jeez, I will make small minute changes. Let's see. So it will be decoder, my function, and I will give data input the banner. So let's see whether it will be success or a failure. Okay, so this looks a lot better over here, right? I mean, it still looks a lot bad, but arguably better. So let's see what else we can see. Okay, or should I just keep it over here? I don't know. Server does not support this operation, blah blah blah. uh, I for one server, or should I just create, yep, I think I should just create one small, like one some sort of an filter which will only grab the server option. Okay, I can do something like that. Okay, so over here, so what our goal is that we need to grab only server banner, and we need to like ignore every other thing, right? So what we're gonna do is like we will import another module called import re, which is for regular expression. And after importing it, let's just like try to like I will probably, let's see, let me just find a resource for um, re module, um, which is regular expression. Give me a minute. Let's see, we will just see the first link, or should I just copy this up, close this up, and open this thing in this browser, something like this. And yeah, you can probably look at it if you want to. So what I'm gonna do is I imported this library. You can, if not install, you can do pip3 install re, something like that. I had that in my VM. um so so what we need to do is like we need to create some sort of a matcher, you can say. So I will like just ignore this thing, comment it out, or just leave it this function for now. I will create something like this, def, then I can do give a name like get server banner, like this, a full function name. Then I can take response as an input, and I can create another variable which will be match, and it will use like regular expression. So re dot search, and it should look for byte, and it should look for something like server. Then I can do something like bracket dot plus question mark, something like this, and return r, oh sheesh, r and n, something like this. um Response, let me add it this one real quick. Then we can probably write another if condition over here. So like if it matches this regex over here, what it will do is it will try to decode it. If it doesn't work, um it will say like server information not found, right? Let's see. um if match return 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 match match, if I can type it properly, match dot group 1, and then I can decode. Then I can use UTF-8, let's see, and I can create an else. So if not, if that doesn't work, you can return server information not found, which is cool. uh Now all I can hope is like it should work. So I will replace decoder with get server banner. Let's see. Okay, server information not found. Okay, so this is cool, like it is actually working. Server information not found. Okay, which is cool, right? So I can make slight adjustment over here. Port this is open, and server like this. Let's see, or you can probably change it accordingly. Okay, so it's working, which is good for us. So I think I should stop the video now. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, and if you liked it, maybe show some love, right? Thanks for watching it, and have a great day.